Hey guys, today I thought I would walk you through my planning process for homeschool. So I did a video last week and I just kind of talked to you through it as I was making my copies. But this is how I like to write it down and keep it in my planner so that way I can, I just like to look back and have it. And I think this is just part of my regular public school teaching or background that I really enjoy planning and I like to write it out. This is what I've done for years when I taught public education, so I like to keep doing it for my sons. Now, I have to fill in all of this because it's not, I bought this planner from Aldi's. It looks like a happy planner. It has the punches like a happy planner, and a happy planner is what I normally use for like my everyday things. And I have a fitness happy planner. I love happy planner. But I got this on sale for $5 at Aldi's, and it fits perfectly in my happy planner. And I'm changing it up anyways and adding my own stuff that I didn't really see the point in buying a really expensive happy planner. I might in the future buy a teacher happy planner. I'm not sure. I really wish they would come out with like a homeschool happy planner. I would really like that. So the first thing I do is I write in the days. Above that you'll see a larger number. This is how many days we're in school. So the state of North Carolina requires you to do 180 days. So right now you can see we're on 144. By the end of the week we'll be at 148 days. So I'll write that in. And then over here I take a pen and I just mark off so that I have smaller spaces. And then I take a post-it note, and I got this. I take a post-it note and I put them here and tape them down. So it says Eli's math, Eli's reading, Eli's writing. Zach's math, Zach's reading, Zach's writing. And then over here, I have loop subjects, science, history, art, music, Bible, and read alouds. These are mainly just for me to write as we go. So that way I know what I did in the Bible for that week, and I know what I read to them that week for read alouds. So that I don't normally pre-fill out. I just kind of leave it there. But I like to fill in the rest of this. And this is kind of like my pre-planning before I make all my copies. It just allows me to see what we're doing as a whole. I also like to pull out my actual daily calendar to see what we have going on that week. So when I pull out my daily calendar, I know that Monday we have co-op. So school Monday will just be co-op. I know on Tuesday we have a dentist appointment around 12:10. That's not going to affect us too much, but it might affect us a little bit. And then on Wednesday, I have to go do a few errands, and my son has an appointment at 8 in the morning. And then on Thursday, we have book club and library. So I know all these things are going to play a part into it. And like I said, not a big part, but a little bit. So what I do then is I like to take a Post-it, and I'll just stick it anywhere. It doesn't even really matter, because I can just pull it off. So we'll stick it on this side for right now. And I like to write in some of the things that we have. So I'll write in like Monday co-op. I do this because now I know I will not plan school for Monday. Tuesday, 12:10 dentist. Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Thursday, 10 to 1 o'clock. Story time book club. Alright. That's what I have. So I just have this as like a note. A side note, I guess. But I like to have that there. So now I'm going to start planning for the week. And I normally like to take one kid's subject and just plan all the way across. And I can see that I did forget to do something. I forgot to make a line on this side. That was pretty silly of me. So then after I did that, so I'll just start with one kid's subject and I'll just go across all the way. So Eli's math. So I go through and I figure out what was the last thing that we did. So I figure out the last thing that he did. And then I start from there. So he's going to start on lesson 14. So I'm going to put in here Math, Zern, lesson 14, Zern, lesson 15, Zern, lesson 16, Zern, lesson 17. Okay. So, after I'm done putting that in, this is the easiest one for me. I love it. I need to go and look at what I need to make copies of for this. And I'm not making copies right now. I'll make the copies later this week, but I know that I have already made copies all the way up to lesson 16. So for this week, I only have to make copies for one lesson, which is great. My older son, I done all of his Zern for the whole year. My younger son, I did not, because I wasn't sure if I was going to utilize it. I wanted to see how well he does, and he's doing so well with it that I ended up utilizing it so far. And you just can see the school year's well over halfway. So I've been printing this out as I go. The next, I'll do Eli's reading. And for his reading, the main thing I do first is I figure out what his phonics skill is for that week. And we're doing a word family a week. So this week we're going to do app. So I pull out his page, and then I'll say phonics, app, page 14. Phonics, app, page 15. And this is a review of all the ones we've learned so far. Then I'll say, oh no, I've already made a mistake. I've already messed up. Pooey. So I need to change this. So what I'll do is I'll look for my whiteouts. And I'll white out it. That's okay. Monday is co-op, and he'll do whatever they're doing at co-op, which is I'm in that room, and I want to say we're on letter P. So he'll be doing letter P that day, and there will be a story involved. So I'll just erase that, and I'll come back. So let's just start over here. So phonics, and I'm actually going to rename this one, review, page 15. And then I'll just write it right here, phonics, page 14. And that's the app. And then this week he's doing a book. So I'll write phonics, cat, book. And this book right here, it has to, it'll have all three. It'll have the at family, the an family, and the app family in it. And then I'll go see what's next. Okay, so we're going on to a different one. So, and then what I'll do here is I'll say phonics, review, app. And every day he will do something with app. And I'll just have to make copies and figure out what it is. So I just leave some more space because there is a lot more to his reading. And I don't put everything I do with him down for reading. That is just what I'll do in the phonics. Every day he also does his, once a week he reads in here. So we're going to read Max the cat. And he read that this week to me, but he did struggle a little bit and I had to help him a lot. So we're going to reread it. So Max the cat. So I'll just fill that in for one of the days. And I like to do it on, let's just do it on Friday. Max the cat. So I do both times like that. Phonics. page 14. Alright. So I don't really have to do anything in here. I just know that that's the story that we're doing. Then okay, so when I'm done planning out his books and that, I then look at this Reading Mama. This is called Reading the Alphabet Curriculum. I printed this from her website and pieced it together. So in the beginning, and I want to do a video, I just have some reading checklists, and I got this from this Reading Mama. I have, this is from Confessions of a Homeschooler, which I'll link this down below too. I bought this last year, and it was part of the thing that I bought. And it has books for each letter. And this Reading Mama had one too, and hers looked like this, and I printed this out. And then over here, this is for each letter, I printed this out. So we are way back here. We did Q last week in AM, and this is just mainly a review. So we'll review letter J, and we'll do sight word 2. So we'll do sight word 2. So I'll go ahead and put that in. So I'll go ahead and write that in. So I'll write. And I'll pull off some of her activities. So I'll write review letter J. Sight word 2. And over here I'll just write letter J, sight word 2. Letter J, sight word 2. Letter J, sight word 2. Each day I also make him read a book to me. So on this day he's reading Max the Cat. This day he's going to read that Hooked on Phonics cat book. On this day, this Reading Mama comes with a book every week. So I'm just going to, and it has the sight word in it. And it has the J words in it. So that's the book he'll read that day. So then I'll go here and I'll go pull from my leveled readers. And I showed you this last week. And this is the one that I've been working on. So we're going through this one right now. And I bought this at Ollie's. I showed you that last week. So I flip to the next book, which is I Like to Eat. So it's going to have the word to in it. It has like in it, which he already has learned, and I. And we can just flip through it. See, I like to eat cheese. I like to eat tomatoes. So that's the book I Like to Eat, is what he'll do on Tuesday. Okay. He'll also have a word sort this week, and the word sort will be just like last week's word sort. It'll have app on it, so I'm just going to put down here word sort. And as you can see, I really fill these in for things that we do with him. And this is word sort test. Okay. So, and I'll just pull out that word sort. Alright, for this day I have none, because, and we won't even do, we'll read the cat book and we'll do the word sort. We'll review our sight words using the little sight word memorization thing I showed you last week. And we'll review the letter J, or review our letters, but we won't do a lot here because we have book club and story time. And that takes up a big chunk of our day. And they do a writing every time that week. So, we won't do no writing that day. Okay. On Tuesday, his writing will be handwriting J. And I'll pull from my handwriting book, which I showed you last week. And I'll be showing you again this week when I make all my copies. And then on this day, he will do the print awareness that goes with the letter J from, and he has to break apart the sentence. and then glue it and then copy the sentence. And then on Friday he'll be able to use app family to create a sentence. And this one I just make him use some of the words from the app family in his sight words to create a sentence. And he gets to create the sentence himself. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I can also show you really quick what he did this week. Writing notebook. And this week, this is what his sentences look like. He did, I made a quilt for you. You can see he rewrote it down here. And then he did, this was his sentence, he did the and words. The man ran home. And there's his man, and that's the house. And then this is just an example of the word sort. So he had to glue it in, and then I make him flip it like this. And then on Friday I call the words out, and he has to write the words into the right ones. So that would be the sentence. He did the man last time ran, and the print awareness, and then the handwriting is just a different little sheet that I print out for him. So I'm pretty much done with his school other than making my copies. So then I go focus on my first grader and his school. So the way that this works, I look at the last lesson that they did, and you'll see that some of the stuff I said they did last week and they didn't get to it. Sometimes I overplan based off of what we have, and that's okay if I do that. I would rather overplan and then us just come back to it later on than underplan. So today, Zach's math, he'll do lesson 10, lesson 11, and this is Zern. Lesson 12, lesson 13. Okay. And then his reading. I pull out his phonics book. And he's doing IGH and IND. So on Tuesday he'll do phonics, IGH, which we have touched on this a little bit from other words and books, but no, and then we'll do IND, which he knows IND, but it's just like a little review. Oh, I probably should put the page somewhere. Page 16, and he'll have sheets to go along with this as well. Page 16. Thursday he'll just do the review page. Review page, and it is 17. And then he will read the story, The Seeing Eye Dog. So he'll read the story. The Seeing Eye Dog. He'll also have a word sort, and I'll have to make his, and it'll be these two sounds. So, word sort. Word, and I make his, which I explained to you last week, was because Eli's I have, Zach's I do not have word sorts for him, so I have to make his. Then he will also has to read to me every day. And like I said last week, sometimes he reads passages and sometimes he reads actual books to me. This day he reads The Seeing Eye Dog. I won't make him read anything else. This day he'll do a passage, and I'll pull it from this book, which is the one we've been working on. And I'm going to hopefully make all of his copies, and then we'll flip through his copies as well and show you what all they do for the week. This is just my planning. And then these are the two books I'll make him read this week. And I did not have an IND book, so we're going to do two IGH books. So I have Flight Through the Night, which I'm going to put for this day. then this one is Dwight's Kite, and I'm going to put that one for this day. And then his writing, again, he'll have none on this day because we do so much this day. And then he also does handwriting, and I normally give him the same sheet his brother has. His graphic organizer and his paragraph writing book that I did a video on, and I'll link it and put a little card in to finish. Organizer. Graphic organizer. And then on Friday, he will begin lesson 14. He'll do lesson 14, and he'll just begin it. Okay. So that's everything. I'm actually going to move this over. Oops, my tape's coming up over here because we have co-op on Monday and I don't write anything anyways in there. And that kind of lets everyone see. Now, science, history, art, music. Like I said, I leave these blank. So then I would pull their loop schedules. And last week was a weird week. Zach felt bad Monday and Tuesday. He did not feel good, so I just made him do reading and math. And since they do together subjects, we didn't do that. And then Wednesday we went to that, and Monday they did robotics anyway. Zach did robotics anyways, but on Wednesday we went to homeschool group, and we taught a lot of science there because we talked about rainbows and how rainbows form. So I didn't make them do science. So we're really behind on these 4 for last week. Just because a lot of stuff just came up and happened, and Zach went to the dentist one day and he had to get a fill-in, and he felt really bad after the fill-in too because his mouth was hurting and it was all numb. So we just didn't get a lot of done yesterday or all last week here. So we'll be doing a lot more here. And also we went on that field trip and that threw us off too. So science, history, art, and music. For science, I'll go ahead and plan out some of the things that we have to do. Well, okay. We'll do the bamboo habitat sheet. Watch YouTube video, and I'm just going to put YouTube video because I know which one it is and I don't have the space to write anything else. We watched the there are 2 kids, let's see if I can remember, Are We There Yet? And they travel all around. My kids love it, and they have one on China. I just seen it the other day, so we'll do that one. It's on panda bears, and then I'll read the panda section, and we'll fill out our panda animal sheet, and that's all we'll do all week. Okay. Alright, and then in history, we're gonna do, and I'm just gonna put days for this because that's all I need. I'm going to do day 12, day 2. I need to do a video on how I do history and how I use Build Your Library because I don't write a lot in my plans. And the reason I don't write a lot in my plans is because it's already written out for me. So I just write what I'll do. So I'll do day 2. And I add some of my own stuff in there too. We'll do day 3. Let's see what they have on day 4. Day 4 they just have a little bit of reading, so we'll do day 4. There's no activities that they have planned. Oh yeah, we'll do all week. And we'll do day 5. Okay. We'll do then, and we did not do art last week. do lesson 1. Maybe let's go ahead and write lesson 2, but I don't know that we'll get to it. And then in music, we will do the continue our instruments and finish up all instrument studies in that book. Okay. So that's how I write it out, and this is how I plan everything. And then I can then start going from here and making all my copies. Or what I need to make copies for, but I like to write it out so I can see it. So you saw me planning and writing it all down last week. And then today all I did was make all my copies. And I didn't have to make any science or social studies or art or music copies because I had a lot of those left over from last week. So it was a fairly easy week for copies. Did my son's grammar, his IGHT phonics paper. I did his math, the weekly morning work math. I did my kindergartner's weekly morning work math. My first grader's little morning work phonics sheets. One reading passage for this week. He's only going to do one. And then my kindergartner, he's working on the app words. So I printed him out some little sheets. He has to color and read the app words. Here he has to make words by cutting these out and gluing them to match the pictures. You can't really see the pictures because my printer's not doing too good. And then here he has to match the pictures, which you can see if you have the paper in front of you. You just can't see them on the computer camera. And then he has to write his app words. And then they also made copies of their word sorts as well. That's all the copies that we needed this week. It was very little. I've already pulled all of their readers and everything. That way they're ready for this week. Ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Again, we don't do school on Mondays when we have co-op. So they're all ready for the week. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. Thank you.